The difference between probably a normal man and a narcissistic men are so delusional, they believe their lie. They believe their lies, they believe their fake self-confidence and competence to the point where it reflects out. So until you expose them for it, they will live in this fantasy world and be able to take advantage of that. That's the difference.
Depends on the wisdom of the woman, obviously, but, well, it does, because, narcissists can fool naive women. That's why narcissists propagate, by the way. And we know this because young women are more likely to fall for narcissistic psychopaths. And the reason for that is they can't tell psychopaths imitate competence, and that's their niche. And so they have a confidence that isn't justified by their ability. But the women check out the confidence as a marker of ability, and the falsely confident can fool them, especially if they're young and naive.
There you go. So, women tend to fall for narcissistic men, bad boys, because they imitate competence, meaning they don't actually have... They have the facade that they have confidence, but they don't back it up by actual ability and proof. So, narcissistic men come off as cocky, come off as confident, come off as arrogant, come off as real up themselves, but they don't have any actual evidence or proof to back it up. It's all fake, it's all a facade. So when the women find out that they're not rich, they're not successful, they're nobodies, and they just live in this false sense of confidence, they leave them. Whereas the competent men are able to retain the women. That's the difference. So for all the guys out there, if you want to pick up women, you can do this. You can act narcissistic, you can act confident, arrogant, all these things, and we're going to get into those sorts of things you can do, like sort the different traits and different things you can screen, but you won't be able to retain the woman. You'll end up losing her, because eventually she'll find out that you're a fraud. Eventually your mask will come off if you're using narcissistic traits and you can't back it off. And if you're a narcissist out there, same thing. If you try and show this ability to where you're confident, you know what you're doing, you're arrogant, you know how to put a woman in her place, blah, 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 show the dynamics, and then she comes home to your house and you said that, you're a millionaire, you're successful, blah, 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 and you're not, well, the woman might stick around for the night, or she might find out in the morning, and she's like, nah, see you later. So to actually retain a woman, you actually have to have competence. But to pick up a woman, you can fake it. That's what I'm saying. That's the truth. I'm not trying to be manipulative. I'm not saying, this is technically you could say a form of manipulation, but this is for educational purposes only. I'm just saying, just to be clear, only educational purposes. This is not me telling you what to do. This is just purely for educational purposes. Thanks. Women do like narcissistic men. It's the truth, because their biology kicks in, and they think that replicates and that insinuates competence. And women love competence because of a survival mechanism. They want a competent man. They want a strong man. They want a man that is social proof and also a provider. So when they have a child, they know that them and the child are safe. That's the biological aspect to it. So when a woman sees a narcissistic man, he's arrogant, let's say he's in a club, he's walking around, he's arrogant, he's talking his lingo, is really good with his manipulative words and blah, 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 he can get in her pants. The issue is, back to what I was saying, he wouldn't be able to retain her. He won't be able to keep her. That's the difference. Again, I want to repeat this. This is just for educational purposes. Here's another one of Jordan Peterson, how he goes a bit further.
Stupid women like narcissists.
He says stupid, but he's talking about from the lens that women that have experience with dating men and know how to screen men, like find out if they're really who they say they are, it's for experience. So he means that women that are just getting into the dating game and have just hit the age where they can start going out and they can start dating men, they tend to not know the difference between narcissistic men and competent men. So that's the difference. All right, let's get into it.
Narcissists, naive women like narcissists, because they confuse their narcissism with competence and confidence. That's how narcissists exploit. They look like they're competent. Stupid women like narcissists, naive women like narcissists, because they confuse their narcissism with competence and confidence.
That's what I mean. So, the difference is, guys, this is my advice to everyone out there. Actually be a competent man, but show it. When you've accomplished something in your life, show it. Show confidence. Go from a place of experience. Go from a place of an accomplished man. Get the accomplishments first before you start going into that whole dating game, because you can fake it till you make it, but you're not going to be able to retain the woman. And if you want a serious relationship out there, it's not going to work. If you just want to sleep around with a bunch of women, different story. You can fake being confident, you can be arrogant, you can sort of insult them, you can sort of I like to call it rubber banding, meaning like ups and downs. So you pull them this way, pull them that way, and you fiddle with their emotions. Because at the end of the day, if you can control someone's emotions, if someone has a strong emotion to you, it can be anger, it can be hatred, it can be happy, it can be love, whatever it may be. They've now allowed access and a point of a door open for you to take control of them. Because if you can't regulate your emotions towards individuals and you get rage or happy or whatever, you've left yourself vulnerable for them to access that and to use that for an advantage. So with a woman, if she hates you or loves you, either way, you can use that to your advantage. Again, for educational purposes only. So she can use either. Like, you can use either. You can use a woman if she... Well, not use, but you can, let's say, for instance, manipulate or persuade a woman if she hates you or if she loves you. Either. Because they have a strong emotion. If a woman doesn't care about you and you're invisible to them, you have no access. You got no chance. But if you got either, you can use that to your advantage. So you'd rather a woman to hate you than don't want to know you, ignore you, and pretend you're not there and you're not there, and she thinks you're invisible. That's the worst place you can be. And if you're in that place and women don't even look at you when you are invisible to them, it's because you have a lack of competence. Mentally, physically, financially, all of it, all the above. So you need to understand, guys, if you want to be able to use this to your advantage, you must back it up, because it's not going to last. Women are very socially aware from a young age. They're more socially aware than men are because of gossip, because of their makeup when they're born and the environments that they go through in life and socially. They are more socially aware than we are. They can pick up facial expressions. They can pick up the way you walk. All different little increment tendencies they can notice to where they know if you're the man or not. It's the truth. They're very socially aware of that. So you can fake it, but you're not going to be able to keep it forever. You know, that's the truth. So you guys need to understand that. But this is what I mean. Narcissistic traits. So you can be competent, but you're not confident. So you can be humble, right? Humble's not going to get you what you want. You want to be, for the most part, arrogant. You want to show the different aspects and show the different brag about it. Like, brag about your success, brag about how good you are, but you have to back it up. If you've done something well, brag about it, because that's, at the end of the day, like Jordan Peterson, he's a psychologist, he tells you women are more attracted to, there's studies on this, and I'm going to show you the different narcissistic traits, but the reason why women are more attracted to narcissistic men, because they think it's competence. So you need to use that to your advantage, but you need to be able to back it up, because you're not going to be able to retain the woman. If you're a guy out there for educational purposes, I want to keep saying that. If you're a guy out there that just wants to sleep around, look into narcissistic traits, look into being more confident, the way you walk, more arrogant, learn lingo, learn how to speak, learn how to communicate with women in an arrogant way, and you'll be able to pull it off. But you won't be able to retain them. They won't want you sorry ass, and it depends on the woman too, right? If a woman's experienced enough, or if a woman is socially aware enough, she's going to be able to pick the phony straight away. And with narcissistic men, the difference between probably a normal man and a narcissistic men are so delusional, they believe their lie. They believe their lies, they believe their fake self-confidence and competence to the point where it reflects out. So until you expose them for it, they will live in this fantasy world and be able to take advantage of that. That's the difference. So if you're a random guy out there that isn't necessarily narcissistic and want to use it to your advantage, you're not going to be able to pull it off, because you're not ready. You don't have the experience, you don't have the competence, you don't have the confidence. You can't fake all of them. There's going to be a crack, and a woman's going to be able to see that crack and expose you for it. So that's why narcissistic men do well, because they live in a fantasy world where they're confident, they're competent, and experienced enough to pull it off, but they won't be able to retain them. I want to repeat that. They will not be able to retain the women. It's the truth. It's the truth, guys. It's the truth.